please take a moment to visit inspirechildrenandyouth.org. This is an organization in South Africa run by a very good friend of mine, Ingrid, and it's an organization that works with people in rural areas to create safe spaces for children and young people to thrive. They provide food, shelter, and a range of activities and projects to help restore human dignity on rural farms. And they can't do it without your help. So again, please go to inspirechildrenandyouth.org and contribute if you can. Thank you and have a nice day. Hi everybody, I'm Dwayne MacEachern with the Asset-Based Project Development YouTube channel. And you can also check out my website at communityfromwithin.com. There I have my podcast and blog and all the links to the other YouTube videos. So this channel is all about restoring things, fixing things, building things, and I have a lot of projects in mind, and I have a lot of things sitting around in the workshop, and I was getting overwhelmed with trying to figure out what to do exactly. So I made a list, put all the names of the different projects in this box, and I'm going to pick out the next project on a piece of paper. I thought it worked great last time I put the welding hood on. And I'll close this, open, pick out one piece of paper. Can you see that? Styrofoam Incubator Refurbish. Styrofoam Incubator Refurbish. It's right behind me over there in the shelf. You see it? That styrofoam thing over there. Let's get it out. This is fantastic. I've been wanting to do this. I was probably going to have to do this anyway very soon, so the fact that it came up in the project box so quickly is great. So if you've listened to my podcast, you know I've talked about the fact that we raise chickens here on the farm, and years ago a buddy of mine gave me one of these old stinky styrofoam incubators, and we did a few hatches out of it, and we never had great luck, and in the end I didn't realize there was a fan inside and the fan was not working. And there's different types of these incubators. There's types with fans and types without fans, and depending on whether it's a with fan or without fan, you have to run at a different temperature. So anyway, that thing, it was no good. I tossed it. And then last year, some friends of ours bought a brand new Hovabator incubator, and this was their old one. And they had decent luck with it over the years, but they just wanted to get a new one. So they asked us if we wanted this old one to try. So we took it, and I'm trying to remember if I even tried it last year. I don't think I did. Or maybe we tried something. I don't remember. But anyway, the thing about these styrofoam incubators, once they get like this is an old one, and this type here, I'll open it up. It has the heat. This is called I think the wafer. Heat wafer and the heating element. The wafer is the thermostat, the control, and this is the heating element. There is no fan in this one, so this is what you call a still air incubator. And we cleaned it out and everything. Yeah, we did use it. We cleaned it all out and we used it, but we didn't have a great hatch. But I thought, you know, it's really old. I didn't do a full sterilization, and I mean old styrofoam. I don't know if you can tell on the camera. There you go. See, it's getting brown splotches and everything. The inside was one of the windows. The inside's not too bad there. On the bottom, however, I didn't clean it up very good after finishing. But you can see the styrofoam starting to get some spots and dirt and stuff. And I'm just wondering if it's not perfectly cleaned, you can get certain types of bacteria in the incubator that will affect the development of the eggs and ultimately affect your hatch rate. So, the project, where did I drop that window? The project is to take this all apart and do a real thorough cleaning, like a complete sterilization using some chlorine, and get this styrofoam sparkling white like it was brand new. And also, put the window back in. Add a fan. Okay. Recently, I saw at Princess Auto, they had little 12 volt computer fan style things on sale. It was on clearance or something. I think I paid something in the range of $1.50 for those. So what I thought was, if I could figure out how to wire them up, I would add 2 fans to give good circulation throughout the incubator. And well, the entire project here, I guess, is we're going to clean this whole incubator up, add the fans, then we're going to put some eggs in it and do a hatch and see how that turns out. Currently we raise chickens, ducks, and we have quail as well. So we'll have to decide which we're going to try in this. I might like to try some duck eggs, but we'll see. So the first step is to break this all down into the individual parts. Take it apart. I'll put those fans aside for now. Over here. So in the bottom part, there's this metal grate. This is just like a wire mesh, and that's the purpose of that is to, well, when you put water and moisture in, it goes below it, but when the chicks hatch, they need something to walk on so they don't slip and fall, and also their poop goes through it to the bottom. And then down below there's this plastic tray. It's cracked in a couple places. I don't think that has any big effect on it, but you fill these trays with water a little bit at a time, depending on how much humidity you're trying to add. And then the very bottom has the actual the trays themselves. I think this part, the insert, is just to help with the cleaning. So that's pretty simple there. The top part, see how it's put together. There's 4 screws hold the element itself in place. The wafer just unscrews, and I think that just all comes apart when you unscrew the wafer. So there's the wafer. This thing, when you set the temperature, this thing, I think it expands or contracts slightly, and that's how it turns it on. Okay, this part unscrews here. So there, that comes off the top. And this all, the light is here. It looks like you might have to disconnect the wires to pull that light through. I don't really want to do that. Because if I disconnect all these wires, no, they're all crimped together. So we're going to have to figure out how to do this without taking that apart. That's fine. Push the windows through. As long as we can protect this here, I don't think there's anything to worry about really, but I can wrap that up maybe and protect it from moisture. We can scrub that all down. It's pretty clean in there anyway. Okay, so I'm going to need some water, some bleach, some kind of a brush, rags. Yeah, that's about it. I think what I'll do is I'll clean this table off. There's still stuff from some other projects here. I'll get that all cleaned up, bring in the water and the bleach, and clean this off. Okay. Let's do that. To 3 things that we have to do. Number 1, we have to clean it, as I was just saying. So I brought, I'm out in the workshop which has no running water, so I have a bucket. I have about 10 liters of hot water here. I have some general cleaning stuff, spray 9. I have some chlorine bleach. This spray bottle I was using yesterday, it's an old cleaning fluid, but it's actually just bleach and water. Then I have this here, it's just a general garden sprayer. You pump it up and spray. And I'll use this for rinsing off after I do some cleaning. And I have a big pile of clean rags, some rubber gloves, and a brush. This brush it's like not very stiff, but it's good enough for the styrofoam. I think it won't hurt the styrofoam as I'm cleaning it off. So we have the incubator here in two pieces. So we're going to clean this all off, number 1. The second thing we're going to do is the fans. I talked about putting the fans in. So I have these little fans that I bought from Princess Auto. I'm going to put 2 fans in this thing, one on each side facing opposite ways underneath. So one's here, and they're blowing this way so that the air circulates throughout the whole thing. And so we have to wire these up. These come with, they must be for a certain type of computer. I'm just going to cut the wires and I'm going to hook them up to an adapter. So they're 12 volt. All it says on there is 12 volt DC, 0.6 watts. And I found an adapter which is output DC 12 volts. It says 100 milliamps. It doesn't say, as far as the watts, it doesn't say output, but I'm sure that will work fine. I've done something similar before. So we'll wire this together with the 2. I'm going to use 2 of these fans. And then the third thing, I'm going to do something different as well on the temperature controller. So this, I was taking this apart the other night. I was describing this thing called the wafer, and how this is what controls the temperature. And what's in here inside, this is just a regular 120 volt heating element. Something similar to what's in your oven, but like smaller scale and less power. And it works off of this here. It's like this is part of the thermostat that makes connection. I'd have to put it back together. Somehow with the wafer it makes connection in here, and that's what turns it on or off, depending on whether or not this wafer expands. And I was thinking about how, and these things can be pretty finicky. They're really finicky. Let's just say that. You're constantly checking on it. You're adjusting. It's getting too hot. You gotta turn it down. Then it gets too cool. You gotta turn it up. I want to forget all that. I want to set the temperature at you know, I can't remember off the top of my head. For chicken eggs, it's like what, 37.5 or 38 degrees. It's like 37.5 degrees Celsius, let's say. I want to set that temperature and have the heating element come on when it gets cooler, turn off if it gets warmer. And how am I going to do that? Well, that's what this here module right here. This is called an Inkbird temperature controller. And I actually got this for another project. I had one before for a project years ago. I bought one for when I built a cold room. And basically it's just it's a module that has it's digital display, shows the temperature, it's got a temperature sensor, and you plug whatever you're trying to control into it. So I'll just take this out of the box. So there's the Inkbird. You plug it into the wall. It controls heating and cooling, so you could actually use it with an air conditioner and a heater at the same time if you're trying to get the temperature correct on something. There's the sensor. So I'll place the sensor inside the incubator, somewhere centered. I'll rig up this. We'll plug the incubator itself will plug into the Inkbird, and I'll set the temperature. But what we have to do is we have to rewire this directly. We don't need this anymore. We don't need the wafer. We don't need any of that stuff. All we need is the wires here connected directly to the plug. So we're going to do all that. I think the first step is to do the cleaning. Then we'll do the fans. Then we'll do the rewiring of this. We'll put it all together, and we're gonna put some duck eggs. The reason I'm doing this, it's where are we at? This is the 11th of April, 2021 when I'm recording this video, and just about 2-3 weeks ago, our ducks, we hatched ducks last year, and they started laying eggs just now in the spring, and we're overrun with duck eggs. We're selling some duck eggs, but also we wanted to hatch some, but we're getting somewhere in the range of 15 to 20 eggs per day. So we need to get this incubator going right now, which is why I'm really happy. It was one of the first projects out of the pulling the name out of the box there. So I'm going to do that. Look at that. So it's plugged in directly. Just give it a second. If it heats up, the light comes on. Will we get heat? It's getting warm. Yeah, there's definitely heat there. Now, the next step I think we'll do is the fans. We want to mount the fans. They're on. Both fans are on, and plug in the heating element. And it's on. So we're making progress. So I could actually feel the air moving there. So that's fantastic. So the next step, the glue gun is heating up. I'm going to just simply put a few drops here and there and let these wires, put them out of the way so they don't get too close to the heating element itself. Then we're going to reassemble the incubator. I'm going to wipe down any areas that I've been touching after I'm finished. And then all we have to do now, after that, is plug in the temperature controller, wherever I put it. I think I lost my marbles. I've lost my temperature controller. It was just here today. I showed you. Right? Oh, there it is. Okay, so all we have to do is program this and plug it in. Oh, we have to run the thermostat, the sensor as well. We have to find a place for that inside the incubator. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Wait. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 different settings that you need to make it work, or that you can use. There's the temperature set value. So what temperature do you want this at? If it's for chicken eggs, I think it's 37.5. I'll have to go look it up. There's a heating differential value. So that means you're plus or minus. Do you want it to... There's no cooling on this. There's a cooling differential value. We can ignore that, so we don't need that setting because we're not cooling anything. We're just heating. The heating differential, I want it as close as possible. So if it's 37.5, I'm going to set this at 37.3 as my differential, meaning the minute the incubator cools down to 37.3, the heater comes back on again. And then goes up to 37.8, it'll turn off again, let's say. So I want a 0.02 degrees Celsius differential. Its default setting is 2 degrees. I want 0.2 degrees. And I believe that is possible on this. It might be 1 degree. I don't remember. I have to look it up. But 1 degree would be okay. The alarm high limit and low limit. So if the temperature goes up too high, like let's say 40 degrees Celsius, I want to set this alarm to go off. And it will beep and I can hear it and I know there's something wrong. But it shouldn't because the heater will turn off automatically once it gets up to 37.8. But maybe it's a warm day, maybe I put this in a bad spot and the sun shines on it and it gets too hot. This will still warn me if it gets too hot in there. And there's an alarm low limit. If it gets below the set degree, alarm by, I can set it by, if I wanted to go off at say 36 degrees. So at 36 degrees the alarm will go off because it's telling me it's too cold. Another setting on this is called Compressor Delay. This is for air conditioning if you're using the cooling. So we're just going to ignore that right now. Basically means that for the air conditioner, it's cooling down. Air conditioners there's a certain delay on them so that they don't shut off right away. And you can use this in Fahrenheit or centigrade. So we're using Celsius. That's what I use here. Let's take a crack at it. We'll do a close up. So here's the old Hovabator, refurbished, cleaned up, ready to go. Looks a little different. We removed the thermostat, of course. The old wafer thermostat, that's gone. And the components, we took that all out and we wired everything directly to the plug coming out of the incubator. Okay. And that's plugged into our Inkbird temperature controller. We're going to do that in a minute, but I'll just show you inside what we did. So the trays are all cleaned up, ready to go. Up top we mounted one fan here. It's wired all the way up here to the second fan. So we have one fan in each corner blowing opposite direction, so the air should circulate in a clockwise motion like that. The heating element, as I mentioned, is wired directly all together. And then right here is the temperature sensor hanging down. So what we'll do is I'll close this so you see how low that's going, where the temperature sensor is. I can adjust that once I get everything set up, but I want that to be right at the level. I want that temperature sensor to be right at the level where the eggs are. So if it's too low, I'll just bring it up a bit. You see in there? I'll bring it up a bit or down, up or down, depending on what I need. So let's set the Inkbird. Let's set this up for now. The great thing about this is if it loses power, you unplug it. It keeps the settings once they're in there. I can't remember how to do this now. I'll just plug it in and see what happens here. Okay. So the PV at the top, 7.1 degrees. That's the actual temperature inside. The setting on this right now is 25 degrees Celsius. So as you see that red light coming on, that means it's heating, which means the incubator is on. Look at that, it's heating because it's trying to get from 7 to 25. But we want it higher than that, we want 37.5. And then, so we're going to, I'm just looking for the instructions and putting beside me how to set. So we have to hold the set key down for at least over 3 seconds. Then it will light on. Make sure the showing TS on the PV window up top and set the parameter. So you're going to set temperature set value, hit the set button. Then we're going to heating differential value, hit the set button. Cooling differential doesn't matter, we can hit the set button after that. Alarm high, alarm low, we'll set those. Compressor delay we don't need. Temperature calibration, 0 degrees. We'll leave it at 0. You can, I guess, I'm not sure what it's for, but if you want the value off for some reason, if you're trying to calibrate it, if you have a different thermometer you're going by, you can calibrate this to be, let's say you have another thermometer you trust more, it's off by 3 degrees, you can change this by 3 degrees. That's what calibration is. And then we hold set at the end. So we're going to hold set down. Temperature set 25 degrees. Let's go up. I'll hold it down. There we go. Put this at 37.5. Well, I'll adjust this if I'm off. I can't remember what chicken eggs are supposed to be, but I think it's 37.5. Okay, set. Heating differential. Oh, we can go by 0.1 degrees. I'm going to put it down by 0.3, okay. Cooling differential doesn't matter. Alarm high, it's 120 degrees, no. We want the alarm high at 40 degrees Celsius, let's say. I'll have to look up if anything, I think 39 is okay for a short period of time, but we're going to go with 40. This takes a long time to get down to 40. We'll get there. This Inkbird module costs about $50, I believe, $45–50. And like I said, I just happen to have this from a different project. I never used it, so I'm happy I have it. And you know, for $40–50, you got a new, a refurbished incubator. One of these incubators goes for what, $300 now, $200? The alarm low is at -40, so we want to bring that up as well. We want the alarm low to be, let's say, 33 degrees. If it incubator goes cold during the hatch, just by a little bit, it doesn't do too much. It just might delay the hatch slightly by a day or so. If it gets really cold, it will ruin the hatch, of course, but just by a few degrees, it doesn't do much other than delay. But I'm hoping with a 0.3 degree differential on the setting there, we won't hear these alarms at all, hot or cold. Getting there. After this is compressor delay. We don't need that, and calibration we'll leave at 0. Temperature unit leave at Celsius. So we're going to hit set basically 3 times and then hold it down for 3 seconds to save. If you don't save, you got to go through all this again. So 31, 32, 33.4. 0, 0, Celsius. I'm going to save. 1, 2, 3. All right, well there. Oh. So the reason the alarm's going off is it's 8.5 degrees right now. It's still heating up, and the alarm is set at anything below 30. What was it, 33.3 or something? So that alarm will go off, but you just hit a button and it silences it. So that's it. We're set. All we have to do now is, well, I'm going to bring it into the house, of course, and we're going to plug it in. I'm going to wait till it gets up to 37.5. Oh, that's for chicken eggs. I'm going to be doing duck eggs, so I'm actually going to have to go through this and reset. Duck eggs, I think, are, I don't know if it's hotter or colder. But anyway, that's how you set it if you're doing chicken eggs, let's say. And let's see. Well, thanks for watching the video with the incubator. We're still heating it up here in the workshop. I'm going to take it in the house soon and put the egg turner in it and fill it with duck eggs. So I'll probably have to recalibrate that temperature setting. 37.5 I believe is for chickens. Ducks is a degree or two warmer, I believe. Anyway, I'll take a couple pictures when I get a chance of the eggs in there in the turner and moving, and hopefully within a few weeks. I can't remember how many days for duck eggs. Chickens are 21. I believe ducks are like 26. I don't remember these things. But anyway, hopefully we'll have some baby ducks coming up soon, and we'll do an update then. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Until the next project, we'll pick something else out of the box to do. And that's it. Have a great day, everybody. Cheers.